I'm one type of person that likes to be in charge of his mood. I like to do the things I want to do. I'm careful not to be forced. I'm careful not to be cajoled. I'm careful not to be lured into it. Whatever I do is something that I choose to do. Because for me, it tells me that my life is my world, so I am in charge of it. So whatever thing my energy doesn't vibe with, I don't meddle with it. Depending on what situation it is, depending on what event, depending on the person involved. If I don't have a good vibe, if the energy doesn't sit right, trust me, I'm definitely not going to get involved with it. And another thing about me is that I'm so bold to always speak it out. I don't have the right vibe. I'm not in the mood. I want to be in charge of my energy because I know one thing about energy, that energy is very contagious. What you focus your energy on will definitely make an outcome in your life. So the best thing I have learned in my life is that I need to focus my energy on what is right for me. You get my point? I need to learn how to focus my energy on what is right for me. Sometimes when I say it out, I'm not in the mood, or I'm not in the right vibe, or I'm not okay with this person or this situation. Sometimes it gets to sound weird, or some people define it as me being proud or arrogant. But I don't care. I don't even care. So long as it doesn't sit well with me, there is nothing you're going to see, there's nothing that you're going to do to make me do what I don't feel like doing. That's it. You see, one thing about energy is very contagious. Don't downplay your energy for whatever sake. If you're not good with it, walk away and say no. I'm telling you the truth. Now, it is one thing to understand your type of energy, and it is another thing to know what to focus your energy on, which is the purpose of this video. Because you need to know that the ability to focus your energy is actually a skill and must be learned. I'm sure a lot of people don't even have this idea that focusing energy is a skill. It is a big skill in the journey of life, I'm telling you. Because what you focus your energy on, whether consciously or unconsciously, is what becomes of your life entirely. So in this video, my advice for you is that you should learn to focus your energy on what makes you a better version of yourself. Focusing your energy on what makes you better is one of the most underrated skills there is. And it's really wild how little people talk about it. We live in a world that consistently pulls our attention toward comparison. We are so concerned about people's opinions. We are concerned about distractions. So much noise, so much chaos in the world. Everybody always has something to say about who you should be or who you should not. People have something to say about how fast you should be moving in the journey of your own life. And they have a way of defining what success is supposed to look like for you. But in the midst of all of that, learning to direct your energy inward toward growth is not just helpful, but that's the most powerful skill that you must inculcate. Let me tell you one thing very important. Energy is finite. So every thought you entertain, every argument that you replay in your head, for every insecurity you feed, it is drawing from the same limited supply of energy. That means that limited supply of energy, you must be very careful what you focus it on. You get it? So when that energy is spent on things you can't control, when you spend your energy on other people's opinion, when you spend your energy on past mistakes, when you spend your energy on imagined futures, when you get anxious over things you can't control, I'm telling you, it's just going to drain you without giving you anything back. But when you invest that same energy into good habits, into good mindset, into the right skills, into disciplining yourself, it compounds quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. I'm telling you this. Becoming better doesn't always look dramatic. Most times it looks unglamorous. When you're building yourself to become a better version, it looks very much unglamorous. But the actual truth is that this is you chasing rest instead of burnout. This is you practicing when no one is watching. It is simply saying no to distractions that feels good in the moment but will cost you later. Focusing your energy on becoming the better version of yourself is simply saying, this action I'm about to take, this situation I'm about to get involved with, does it make me stronger? Does it make me clearer? Or does it make me wiser? And, having the courage to walk away when the answer to these questions is no. You're the one to ask yourself these questions, and you're the one to make the final decision, and be bold at your decision, because this is about you building yourself to become better. What makes this skill to be rare is because it requires patience and self-honesty. You have to admit where you are without shame, and you have to admit where you want to go without an atom of fear. You have to stop outsourcing your self-worth and start building it. You have to recognize that real self-worth is built from the inside and not outsourced from the outside world. That means that you have to focus less on proving yourself and focus more on improving yourself. The real shift in your life happens when you realize that growth is not about perfection, but it is about direction. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to align your energy with the version of you that's emerging. Okay, every small choice becomes a vote for you, and every focused effort becomes a brick in the foundation that no one can take away from you. So when you master the skill, you become calmer and everything changes because your attention isn't scattered at the time. You become more confident because your progress is real. You become resilient because your energy is no longer wasted on things that don't serve you. Now, let me tell you this lastly. Focusing your energy on what makes you better is quiet work, but over time, it speaks louder than any other announcement you could ever think of. Do well to internalize this and have a great day. Cheers.